What is going on, Amazon sellers? Welcome to the Flips Nation channel. If you're new here, my name is Rob and I do about 20K in sales a month on Amazon FBA, doing mainly online arbitrage. And this channel includes content, tips, and strategies, as well as documenting how I'm slowly scaling my FBA business. Now in this video, I'll record my screen and go through the main sourcing methods and softwares that I use and how I source and find profitable items online to eventually sell on Amazon. I'll go through my thought process, as well as going over the three main things that I do that contribute to my final sales and help me dictate what it is that I'm purchasing. The main points I'll include is my own spin on storefront stocking, which is just going on to other sellers' stores, manual sourcing, discounted gift cards, cashback companies, coupons, and I'll phase all this through those mentioned points. And if you're a new seller and you want to join the free Amazon FBA Flips Nation Discord group, join the link below. I'll attach it down here and you can join. There's free information, free Amazon FBA course, as well as a free Amazon FBA community that you can network with. I'll hope to see you there. If you find this video helpful, please do like and subscribe. It helps me and helps get this information out to other sellers who might need it. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the video. All right, so before I get started, first things first, I want to go through the main Chrome extensions that you'll need that I use every day. First one right here, this one is Keepa. Briefly going over each of them. Keepa you'll need for things like sales history, competition, and more information. I do have a full crash course on Keepa. I'll link that below in case you're interested. Definitely learn Keepa before you make any kind of purchases. Next one is SellerAmp, which is this one right here. It's going to give you monthly sales volume as well as calculator to get a rough idea on your ROI and other perks. Like it helps with storefront stocking as well as sends you information to your Google Sheets. Okay. And then the next one is Rakuten and Top Cashback. Rakuten is this one right here. And then Top Cashback is this one right here. They're just two trusted extensions. They're two trusted cashback extensions that I use interchangeably based on whichever one is giving me a higher cashback. So pretty much anytime I buy something, it'll pay me a percentage of the total before tax. That cashback percentage will vary per day. Like for instance, during Black Friday weekend, Academy Sports and other retailers was giving like a whopping 15% cashback. But normally, it's a little lower than that. And then Capital One extension is this one right here. Up here in the top right. It's pretty cool because it gives me a list of coupons that it's found after it scrapes the internet for them. I normally have it just to manually put those coupons in. So yeah, those are the main ones, right? So Keepa, SellerAmp, Rakuten and Top Cashback, and this Capital One. All right, so that's it for the extension information. Let's actually use them. This first part of the video, I'll be going through using the storefront stocking method with the help of mainly Keepa and SellerAmp. All right, let's get started. So with the storefront stocking method, I normally go and start at a good lead, but if you're just starting, you may not have a great starting point. So what you can do is start with the brand that you know Amazon doesn't really sell, because we know that it's going to be mostly people like you and I that are arbitraging on that listing. So a brand that you can start with is Nike. Since Amazon isn't on these Nike listings, it's a good place to start. Now, if you are gated on Nike, it's quite easy to get ungated. So if you need a full guide on that, I'll link the video below that I have going over how to get ungated and submission process in detail. So let's start on these Nike socks. Now let's open up here where it says new 23. This shows all the sellers on this listing, and we want to focus on the number of reviews. We want to find someone with reviews typically around 100-ish. This indicates that the seller has a history of successful sales, so we'll assume that these sellers should have profitable items in their store. Now, you don't want to check sellers with hundreds and thousands of reviews because more than likely they're wholesalers. So see, this one has 24 reviews. This guy has one review rating, 76, 182. So This one right here, 76. Let's check out his store, Sports Station. Okay, so now that we're in his store, we're going to click visit his storefront. All right. So this is when I will open up Seller Amp. Looks like the only brand that he even has is Nike. So this may not be the best. Yeah, this isn't going to be the best. So we're going to go back. And this is kind of just the process, you know, sometimes. Let's see here. Okay, 66, next sports. All right. And he also just has a bunch of socks. All right, so I'm going to keep on looking here. So give me just a second. I'm going to go out and come back in. All right, so I found a better seller, and just FYI, I was still on that listing. I just kind of went through and found a better store. So as you can see, this particular seller has Nike, Fujifilm, Ninja, Stanley, Lego, Converse, just more variety in his store. So what I'll do now is I'll pull open Seller Amp. Now, before I open it up, I know it's going to be kind of boring, but this is kind of what you have to do sometimes, go through other people's stores until you find a good one. But what you can do is once you do find a good store, you know, you want to write it down and just kind of go back and check if that store is in fact a good store, like you find profitable items there. Write it down, track it, and just kind of every so often check a store, see if they have new items that you can hopefully find profitable as well. So I'll click the Seller Amp extension, and as you can see, kind of pops up next to their names. So now we can click on, let's click on something that looks interesting. So, okay, Nike Sportswear Club Jogger Sweatpants. We can scroll down here and look at the Keepa, and as you can see, this Keepa chart looks pretty consistent as far as the price. So let's check out this listing. And again, if you need Seller Amp, I'll have the link below. It's just like $20 a month. Very powerful. So the first thing I want to do when I open it up is, of course, check what my buy cost needs to be to get a decent ROI. So the buy box right now is $57.82. So let's say $25 gets me 66%. $35 gets me about 18.77%. $6 profit. May not sound much, but remember, if you have a prep center, you know, think long term. If you have a prep center, you're sending all to a prep center who then sends it to Amazon FBA warehouse on your behalf, and you're selling like 20 of these a day. Then this becomes way more significant when you're not doing all the work, you know, $7 per unit. And if you have multiple of these ASINs, that's when you really start actually making good money. So $6.57. Sales velocity right now is about 4,200 a month. Keep in mind that this is something with variations of medium and large. So if I scroll down, I'll also check on the Keepa graph right here on the data offers tab. I usually check the last 30 days just to see if these numbers are consistent with Seller Amp. Sometimes I kind of trust the last 30 days estimate with Keepa more than Seller Amp, but you know, just good to have both. So looks like this seller in particular has sold 258 in the last 30 days. This one has sold about 100, so about 250, 350, 400, 430, 460 between these 5 sellers with this particular variation. So this looks like it's selling pretty well. So let's see if we can find somewhere on the internet. So right here, this little G, it is the Google icon. So it searches for the product title on Google. So let's click it. All right, so what did we say? $35 gets us $6.57, about 20% ROI. Nike Sportswear Club Jogger Sweatpants. So right off the bat, we can see that Nike may have something similar. Let's see how, if it is in fact the same. Oops. This looks like it is in fact. Nike Sportswear Club men's jersey joggers. This looks like it's it. I didn't think I'd find it right off the jump, but this looks like a good buy, you know? So while I'm here, I can check Rakuten, and it's giving me a whopping 15% cash back on top of the $33.97, which is insane. You're not going to see something 15%. Usually, I think it's just because we're around these holiday season times that it is, in fact, so high. I think during back to school, it was also like 10%. Normally, it's kind of lower than that. So just for this example purposes, let's $33.97. So at $33.97, $7.60, not bad. Now, obviously, I didn't add tax. So that's the beauty of having a prep center, especially if it's in a tax-free state. I live in a state where the tax rate is 8.25%. So it actually ends up being cheaper for me to send it to a prep center who usually preps it for like $1.75 per unit. And like I said, they'll send it to Amazon warehouse. You don't have to touch the product. Just got to keep track of all your buys. So let's go back. Okay. And when you do this long enough, you'll also have knowledge of what sites will give you intro coupon offers. Meaning when you make like a new account, they'll send you 10% off. Some sites like Dick's Sporting Goods and Vitacost, and there's plenty more, they'll give you 10% off right from the jump when you make an account. So it's a good way to just look at these prices and already think in your head, okay, I can get that for 10% off. I can get that for 10% off. This one's a women's. Foot Locker's $41, $40. Academy, this is a boys. Oops. So it looks like Nike might have the best price shields. They have it in this gray. So we can always go back and see if there's a gray variation. But yeah, that's really it. Now, if you're new at sourcing, this is just a part of it. Going through the stores and looking around. It's very boring, grueling, and strenuous. But remember, when you do find this product that you can generate profit for you, it can be profit for months to come. For example, I have a few ASINs that took a while to find doing the sourcing work, like I'm showing you now. However, if you find 5 or 10 of these and you can restock them every month and replenish it, it'll be worth it. And you know, Amazon has thousands of products, and you have to find the brands that others aren't looking for. You can't just expect to just find Nike products. Go to the brands that others aren't looking for. And also, you know, sometimes you might be looking at some of these products and see right now the buy box is at $57.82. Sometimes it could be less than that. Let's say the buy box was, I don't know, $50. And we just went online and found the best deal was $33. Like if this wasn't even available, these other sellers, obviously all these other ones are like in the 40s, right? So at $40, we wouldn't hardly be making any profit. And just keep in mind, like a lot of these sellers may have been able to find these prices cheaper. Maybe they're doing a retail arbitrage and find it for a much less cheaper price. You never know. So that's kind of why sometimes you'll see really low prices, and you're scratching your head like, how are these guys even making profit? Okay, so while you're on here, I wanted to add this this item to cart. Now I have it in cart, and as you can see, this Capital One extension has already found 10 codes, and you can click try code, and what it'll do, it'll start attempting to put in various codes. So just going to try all of them all at once. Really powerful. Unfortunately, it did not find a code that works on this item. So after that, then I'll check Rakuten's cashback. It's got 15% cashback right now on Nike. And then I'll also check top cashback. Looks like I gotta log in real quick. 1 second. Okay, so checking top cashback, it's giving 12%. Rakuten's giving 15%. So really, this is $33.97 right now. So $33.97. And then if we take 15% off, which is 85%, we're getting this really for $28.87. Obviously, there's shipping and handling right now, but if you add it, if you sign in, if you're a member and sign in, you shouldn't have any shipping and handling. And if we go back to that listing, for that size small, what did we say? 28.87. So 28.87, a whopping 43% ROI, $12.70. And this is, I normally don't take into consideration the cashback. It's kind of like a plus for me, but starting off, maybe you have low capital and this is something that you want to take into account, which is fine. So just showing you my process as far as finding the actual product by reverse sourcing, going through someone else's store and reverse sourcing this way, using this Google icon to search that item on Google, and then eventually checking to see if the cashback offers was significant enough to help your buying decision. And as well as using this Google Sheet after you buy, or if you want to just take a note and want to come back to it later, click this to send it to your sheet. And we can do it again for, this Lego set here, this bag here, this other shorter sock. And you can keep going through someone's listing and look at all other things they have, this Converse shoe, this hat. And you just repeat that process. You would click on Seller Amp, and then you click on this little logo here, the Seller Amp, and it pulls up all the information like the sales history. And something I didn't mention, which is really cool, is once you find something good, so you can make a Excel sheet and you can click export to. These are just two sheets that I've made. And when you click it, it'll send all that information to your spreadsheet. It'll send you the Amazon link, the buy cost that you put. So it's really good for just inventory purposes. And when you scroll down, you can also check how many sellers are on this listing, if they're FBAing or if they're FBMing, their stock. Keep in mind also with Keepa, you can check their stock, but this is really cool because you can see if this guy has a lot of stock, but maybe he has 2. You'll know that, okay, he's going to stock out soon, so maybe I'll just keep it at a higher price than him and just stay behind him until he stocks out so I can sell for a higher price. And other than that, you can check out all the fees that you'll incur over here. Total fees. You can check the referral fee, the FBA fee estimates. Now remember, these are all estimates other than the referral fee. And now I wouldn't suggest right now, just because you watch this video, that you go and buy this Nike item, just because probably someone else watching this video might also be buying this. So, oh, they do have the gray ones here. The gray one's at $42. So you might want to go check and see if that's a good buy. All right, so that's storefront stocking. You want to do this over and over again at other stores until you find a store that's really profitable. And then you can keep checking the seller's store every day, every other day, if it's profitable. And this is a way that I've found so many different items. I'm telling you, this is a one really powerful tool that you can use as a new seller. just to get your reps in with check and keep it constantly, finding new items. And if you're stuck in a category, like I started with Nike and apparel and shoes, you want to start with one category first so you don't get overwhelmed. But once you want to start branching out, you can find, like, this guy had, I think he had like Fuji, no, he had, like he had the Stanley and this Ninja, like this food items kind of stuff. If you want to get more into that kind of brand, you can click on this, like the Stanley, and then check their sellers. And a lot of these sellers that are on this listing might only be selling things in, home goods and just stuff like that. So if you want to start venturing out into other brands, that's a really good way to find a seller who only sells one specific category, and then you can keep an eye on his store as well. Okay, so that's it for storefront stocking. Let me go over to the next phase, which is strictly manual sourcing. Okay, so the next way I source is strictly manual sourcing. And just to preface, the way to really maximize how you manually source is from doing the reps of the reverse sourcing that I had already gone through prior. Because once you've done a bunch of digging, looking at listings, knowing what sells well in specific categories, that's when it's going to help you tremendously when it comes to the manual source. So it's kind of like going to, let's say, a retail store to go RA, retail arbitrage. You'll just be more efficient when you already have an idea of what you're looking for. So on that note, I do think when you first start, like I said, you should start with one category so you don't get super overwhelmed. So with that being said, let's go to a store like, I don't know, go to Dick's Sporting Goods. So because I've scraped all these retail sites for so much time, I know that Dick's always has a 10% off code when I make a new account with them. So something smart you'd want to do as far as online arbitrage goes is look into going to a site like namecheap.com and making a catch-all, so you can just use multiple email addresses with your own domain to constantly get that 10% off. So I'm automatically looking at all these products. Let's go to Shop All. So I'm already looking at all these products and thinking in my head, okay, I can get that for 10% off. So this $41, 10% is what, $4.12-ish. So this is really, in my eyes, $37-ish. Well, this is on sale, so maybe you won't, that 10% off coupon might not apply to this, but you get what I'm saying. You can also go to the full price things that they have to offer, and then you can think of the 10% off on those. And it's not just with Dick's, of course, right? Like even other sites like Vitacost has the same thing, 10% off on all the intro emails. Walgreens has coupon codes that they constantly usually have and really good BOGO deals during the months. So I will tell you this is going to get boring. However, essentially you want to go through the sale items and just see what you can find. And again, like I mentioned prior, you can go to the full price items as well. Let's see here. So now going off those other sweatpants that we saw, these are probably in high demand right now because it is in fact winter time mixed in with the holiday season. So we're going to copy this title. And this is, you want to look at this kind of cut. It's not a tapered cut. So we'll pull up Amazon here. All right, so this is a gray open cut. This looks like it's it. Nike on the top right. Oh, see, this Nike logo is a little different. Not it. This one kind of looks like it's it. Yep. NSW, Nike Sportswear. Let's click it. It's got a little, nope, that's not it. And it's kind of what you do here. Just want to make sure it matches up. And again, I apologize. I know this is kind of boring. This kind of looks like it's it, except there's a taper cut on these, whereas the item that we're looking at does not have a taper cut. This right here looks close. Yep, this should be it right here. It has the Nike logo right there, Nike logo this kind of waistband like that. These have drawstrings on them though. I don't think this one has drawstrings. Elastic waistband with an adjustable draw cord. Okay. Oops. This was the closest one, except that because it doesn't have the drawstring on it, but it does in fact have the incorrect Nike logo. So that's not going to be it. So let's go back. Okay. Let's look at this shoe. Air Max 270. So it's price and cart. So let's add it to cart. I hate when they do this sometimes. 119. I can already tell you that's not going to be a good price. Okay, so this Pegasus won't be a good one. I was hoping hit a great one right off the bat like I did with the other one, but this doesn't seem to be the case. So, okay, what colorway is this? Elemental gold. Let's do this. Let me just put gold on here. Sometimes I'll just find that colorway. I've not seen that colorway, but this is the actual item. So this dark gray, is there a gray one here? Yes, there is. Let's do a small. Check what the small size is. No buy box in there. Now, there's usually not a buy box. This is indicative of Amazon essentially manipulating the market. Amazon probably thinks that this price is too high. So let's $63.40 for a small. We are getting it for $37.50. Looks like there's no smalls left. Let's check the mediums. Come on. Okay, so this doesn't have a buy box either. $57.26. However, Keepa tells me there's only one in stock. So we can assume this will probably sell out quickly. So we can assume it's going to start going back to the $66.89 price point. Let's check the Keepa. Sorry, the seller amp tells me that there's 2.5K sales a month. Let's scroll down to Keepa. So back in September, it was around 60, 65. Prices dropped. However, the sales volume has dramatically increased around this time. See the green line dramatically increased versus back in October. Sales also dipped slightly. Buy box is around 51, 57. Let's check data, offers tab. So, see, this is kind of what I mean sometimes when I want to check the Keepa offers tab as well as the sales history that seller amps gives us. Now, I still think this is a good buy. You can also check this variation tab, toggle the ratings, and this is saying that this medium black sweater has the most ratings, so you want to assume that it also gets the most sales. So let's scroll down and see. Okay, here we go. Here's the gray medium. So it's gotten, it's in the top 6 variations. So I think this is still a good buy. It's kind of odd that it's only showing one sold in the last 30 days. I find that very hard to believe with this kind of listing. That's very odd. So this is when the buy box disappeared here. Came back around this time. So How much did it cost us? It cost us about $37.50. So this would be a good buy, assuming everything is the same here, and it looks like it is. Club Crew neck shirt, Club Crew. So bang, another good one. So also another way to make this an easier experience is you want to opt into all these retailers text alerts and email promotions, because they'll email or text you coupons and promos they're having, and you'll be alerted before anyone else knows. So you can grab it before it goes out of stock. Like the small here. The small here was obviously, we saw, right? It was selling for what? More than this medium, I think, right? So this one, $63.39. This is about the same as that medium once that low ball seller gets out of our way. But people already came in here and bought it, right? So Dick's is good about sending these various texts. I've gotten some texts from them. I can't recall. It's some sort of coupon they'll send you. I don't think the 10% intro email will work for the sale items. And also, if we check the Rakuten, 1% cash back at Dick's right now, top cash back, 2% cash back at Dick's right now. And also, you want to stack this with your cash back credit cards, cash back business credit cards that I use. Give me 2%, the Capital One Spark, and just lower that buy cost. See, what else am I missing here? So I went through Seller Amp. When I'm looking on here, I want to compare this sales velocity. This is taking into account variations. Keep in mind all these variations here. But what would give me confidence on this one is the fact that in the variations tab, this particular medium, heather gray, heather white, has 68, top 5, top 10 reviews, and then the large soon after. And there is a large that's still available here. Heather what dark gray heather white. Dark gray heather white. Yeah, this is the one. So all right, so that is manual sourcing. Like, you'll just, let's say we want to go back out and we can do the same thing that we just got done doing with Dick's. We can go to another website. Keep in mind, when you go to these big box sites like this, you're not the only one that is looking at this item. You're not the only one that's looking at this item. If you saw it, more than likely everyone else saw it. They're getting the same sale as you. However, what you want to do is you want to look at the number of sellers on the listing. Even if it's got a lot of sellers, however, if the demand is there and the sales velocity is there, I don't get too afraid if the number of sellers is creeping up. Now, a lot of times, don't get me wrong, it does mean the price might tank. It could be a bloodbath if there's a bunch of sellers on there. I typically shy away if there's, just generally speaking, if it's like 20, 30 sellers, but it's all varies, right? It all varies on the listing itself, the sales velocity of the listing. It's not just a one size fits all kind of assumption. Everything you have to take into account. So now that's that. So we went through the storefront stocking, we went through manual sourcing. So I'm going to go through this last phase next. Okay, so we're in this business to make a profit, right? And to maximize our profit, the best way to do this would be to lower our buy cost and to use cashback sites like Rakuten, Top Cashback. And the final thing is also to utilize discounted gift cards. And so you can use this site as a starting point. You can use this site and Rakuten.com as a starting point. So on Rakuten, you can scroll down and you can see which site is giving the most cash back. And you can start off that way. For instance, Macy's is 10% off. Sorry, not 10% off, but 10% cash back. Nike's 10% cash back. And like I said, some days will be more. During these holidays, these are a little more than average. Academy yesterday was 20%, 10%. due to Black Friday. Sorry, Cyber Monday. And Black Friday was also around that rate as well. And then another way is the site I was on prior, which is raise.com, which you are able to buy discounted gift cards. So if I was on here and I wanted to, let's say that Nike sportswear joggers that we were looking at and the sweatshirt that we're looking at, let's just search Nike. And boom. So these are 1.4, 1.5%. So let's see if there's any bigger ones than that. Okay. So this isn't too much, just 1.4%. Sometimes they have, I don't have anything like that. Let's see. So you just want to play around with it. Right now, it's not giving you a huge percentage off. However, these can really stack up if you start using them frequently. Rakuten used to offer cash back on this discounted gift cards, which is insane because you cash back when you buy the discounted gift card, then you can use that discounted gift card again on the site with Rakuten. However, sadly, they discontinued that. But nonetheless, you can look at other sites as well. Let me see if they have Academy. All right, so Academy has a higher percent off on these discounted gift cards. So really, what happens is you can just buy this this $25. Looks like $25, 2.7% off. So you can buy multiple if you want, but I would rather buy something for $100 at 2.7% off. And there's other sites too. I can't recall the other one. I think it's called Cash Cards or something. But essentially, this is kind of what you do. You'd purchase this $25 gift card, but you're really buying it for $24.33. So you're getting 2.7% off. I've bought Nike gift cards on here with like 5% off on $500. So you're getting a pretty chunk off on those higher price tag gift cards. And let's see if you can. So you can kind of just look around here. Target looks like it has 1.2%. Best Buy has a huge 3.3%. Looks like Adidas, they have some really big. Yeah, see, look at that, 11% off. Let's see if there's something with a higher price tag on here. Yeah, so 10% off 50. Let's see if they have something at 100. All right, see, we can get a $100 gift card and save 10.2% off again for $89. And you want to stack that with a really good deal on Adidas, and I bet you Adidas, there's 10% cash back on top of that on Rakuten. So we're getting 10% off with a discounted gift card. So I don't have anything for. See if I can find. Yeah, even a $200 one. I'd rather just buy something once. So it's up to you really. This is kind of odd. 250, 0% off. So 8% off. Use that on top of top cashback is actually 16%. And that's why I said you want to go interchangeably from top cashback or Rakuten. I tend to use Rakuten more. I think it's more so out of laziness because I just like to stack my Rakuten cashback already, but I do use both. And I just essentially stack everything and get it for the lowest buy cost possible. One I'm manual sourcing, one I'm reverse sourcing, just when I'm making that end purchase, just to make sure with online arbitrage to get it for the lowest buy as possible, because you're not getting those deals like people who are going into the stores and doing RA. Typically with RA, you can get those sales within the store that they're already having. However, you're saving more time sitting down and just buying it online. And by doing that, you want to use all the opportunities and the competitive edge that you can, which is getting for the lowest cost. And like I said prior, when you are looking through these the Amazon site listings and you're seeing someone with just a super low buy cost. You're wondering how they get it. How are they even making any money on that? This one, of course, this didn't have. So like for instance, this guy maybe $37.29. Maybe online we can only find it for $35. You're wondering, how did he get it? How is he even profiting? Well, maybe he went in the store and somehow he got it for like $15 because that store is having a huge sale or something like that. So just like that, we want to lower our buy costs as low as we can so we can profit at a competitive price in comparison to all our sellers. So that concludes the last phase I wanted to show you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to join the free Amazon FBA Flips Nation Discord group, that link is in the video. Free information, free Amazon FBA course, free community. Hope to see you there, and we'll see you on the next video.